is up, YouTube? My name is Alan Lamar, and welcome to my channel. Today's video is gonna be mainly about, my experience being trans and, how I just go about things, living life as a trans man, black trans man at that. Someone in my DMs on Instagram told me that they would like for me to talk about this specifically, so I'm gonna get on to it. My experience as a black trans man, I don't really have that many things to go about, like talk about. Hold up. I don't have many things to go based off and roll over. You know what I'm trying to say. I suck at English sometimes. Yeah. I only have one bad experience being a black trans man in New York. It was when I was working at a set place. Big place, a lot of people go to it, watch games, whatever. And I was working security at that place. And when you're first getting your job, they assign you a locker. Now, there's a male's locker room and there's a female's locker room. My name hasn't been changed. My gender marker hasn't been changed, which is, standard procedure if you're working at a workplace that has both male and female locker rooms. But my thing is, right, I look like this, I sound like this, I perceive myself as a certain person. I am a certain person, right? I am a black man, as you can see. You don't have to put trans in the middle of that. I'm a black man, and I would like to be treated as a man, right? So I'm there picking up my uniform. The lady assigns me a lock, but not in the male's locker room. I asked her, "Miss, is there any way I can get a locker in the male's locker room, because I do identify as a trans man and I don't want to walk inside the female's locker room sounding like this, looking like this, and they'll be like, who the fuck is that? Why is there a boy in here?" Right? She went on by saying, oh, without the proper paperwork, without the proper documentation saying you're a male or your name being changed, you cannot, I repeat, cannot have a locker in the male's locker room. And I'm like, well, why, if I'm a man? Like, I know I'm a man. And she's like, well, like I said, if you don't have the proper paperwork, you can't. So I was like, all right, whatever. I let that one rock. So there was this one day, I was sharing a locker with one of my coworkers that I started with, and she wanted me to go in and show her how to open the lock. So I went in there, she's talking to me, and of course I'm going to respond because I'm not a muted monkey. And all I hear and a bunch of broken necks going like, where's there a boy in here? Where's the boy? Why is there a boy in here? I'm just like, oh, it's me, I'm trans, so they got me in here, I don't know why, and they said I can't have a locker in the male's locker room, so they got me in here. I'm sorry if you got startled. I'm sorry that I have to be in here with you. I know this makes you really uncomfortable. I shouldn't have to go through that. I shouldn't have to go through that at all. My coworkers in the female's locker room was agreeing with me. They were saying that's wrong, and they should be able to accommodate you anyway. If you know that you're a man, even though that doesn't say on your stuff, I feel like you should just be perceived as a man, regardless of whatever the fuck is on your paperwork. And that itself, like, it got me to a point where I didn't feel comfortable going in either locker room. Like, the men were already looking at me going inside the females' locker room. So it made me more uncomfortable to just switch it up and go inside the male's locker room. So what I did was every time I needed to use the bathroom, I would go to to like the public bathroom where everyone else goes. I'll go in there, a family restroom. I'll go inside there because it's his own bathroom. So I'll just go inside there. Every time I need to use the bathroom, I'll just go inside there. Which sucked because I should be able to use any locker room I feel like I should use. Right? I should be able to go use the men's locker room without being told I can't use it. For me, so that shit sucked. It really just got under my skin, and I didn't stay at the job for any longer because I knew I wouldn't be respected. Like I wasn't respected at all, to be honest. So that was just a bad experience in itself, which sucked because I actually did like that job in a sense. Like I wish I would stood longer. If I was respected, I would have stood longer, but I wasn't. So I'm not gonna sit there and let somebody disrespect me in my face or behind my back. I ain't like that not one bit. I don't have any other bad experiences other than that. But me living as a black trans man in New York is very. It seems very normal, right? Because there's a lot of black trans men in New York. It's something very common now these days. Now, well, what I can say about that is that people do it. Some people transition for the wrong reasons. Some people transition for the deep voice. Some people transition for the surgery. But they fail to realize that this is also a mental state, a mental thing that once they start the hormones, they start seeing, damn, like, they start going through that shit like, damn, you know. And I just feel like, yeah, some people really do it for all the wrong reasons. That's not okay because there's other trans men out here that don't have the courage to actually do it. That's over here harming themselves, that's killing themselves over this because they can't transition because there's people like that have the resources to transition that are taking advantage of it, which sucks because it shouldn't have to be like that. I feel like nowadays the doctors just give testosterone to just anybody. To be honest, like you go in, you say that you trans, they give you a shot first day. That's what happened to me. But they were asking me a lot of questions just for reassurance. Um, I have to go to therapy. Uh, I didn't have to see nobody specifically. I was just mainly seeing my uh, primary doctor that provided me the testosterone. I was mainly just seeing her like every month, and then after a while, it was every like 3 months, and so on and so forth. But yeah, nowadays they just handing out testosterone like it's fucking candy, bro, and it's not. It's not nothing to play with. It's not nothing to take as a joke. Like, it's alright to go ahead and ask the next trans man, oh, what's the process of transitioning? Just for you to educate yourself, not to, like, go ahead and just do it because you don't know if that's really something you want to do. Like, this one time, I got a message on Facebook, and it was of a, lesbian, masculine lesbian. I'm not gonna say the bad term for it, but in New York we do use the bad term for it. We don't really take that to offense, but I'm not gonna say that. I did get asked by one also like what's the process of getting your top surgery and what who was your surgeon and all this extra stuff, and oh, I'm thinking about transitioning. I don't know for sure. That was her exact words, and I'm just like, well, you just wasting my time because I'm here telling you all this information. I'm here giving you all this information, and you hit me last minute. Oh, I'm thinking about transitioning. I don't know yet. Now, if you have to think, And if matter of fact, if you don't know if you want to transition, then don't transition at all. That's something in your mind that's been in your mind for years, out of years, bro. Then go ahead and transition. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't transition because people feel different. For me, sometimes it's just a feeling that comes out of nowhere that you try to explore, that you try to figure out. That I don't mind that. I don't mind giving answers to people that are like that. But if you're just coming to me wasting my time, it's just like, bro, you made me say all of this for what? You're second guessing yourself, and I can't help you. I cannot help you. If that's something you're definite of doing, if that's something that's definite that's gonna happen, then I can. But if you're not 100% sure, then don't waste my time. That's just how I feel. And I'm pretty sure this goes for every trans man, because I know a couple trans men that had this happen to them before as well. It's not okay. Like, it's okay to question. Excuse me. It's okay to have questions. It's okay to ask questions. But it's never okay to waste a man's time. Like, that's the thing. I don't have a problem answering the questions. My thing is, if it's pertaining to you, then I want to answer. But if it's not, and that's not something you actually want to do, then why ask the question? That's the thing. Like, I don't get it. I really don't. In New York, I'm gonna keep saying this. In New York, we don't face discrimination. Us black trans men, in other people's eyes, are just black men. We don't face discrimination. I haven't faced anything serious other than my first security job. That's really it. But my experience being black and trans has been pretty normal in my sense. Like, I know there's other people that have gone through way worse than me. And that's why I want to make a podcast strictly of just trans men coming on, telling us their story, telling us, just about them in general, what it's like being trans for them. That's why I want to make a podcast, and I am going to make one. There's a couple people that don't want me to make one, but I'm still going to make it. I don't give a fuck. I said a lot in this video. I'm sorry. I'm really tired, to be honest. I'm always fucking tired. So yeah, I don't get discriminated at all. I feel like, depending on who I'm hanging out with, I am perceived as a gay man, in a sense. Like, when I was chilling with my ex-best friend a lot of people thought I was a gay man. So that, as long as you think I'm a man, I really don't give a fuck what you perceive me as. That's your opinion. That's how you feel. It is what it is. I don't care. I know who I am as a person. And yeah. Only time I ever got called out of my pronouns is during this one altercation with another trans man. He thought that I wanted his ex-girl, and in all reality, I didn't want anything to do with that girl. So that's another story for a whole nother day. In New York, I feel like, and I think a lot of people could vouch, a lot of trans men could vouch. I think a lot of trans men could vouch for this, that every trans man feel like they're in competition with each other. And I'm the type of person that don't like to put myself in a box. I don't like to feel like I'm in competition with anyone. I'm not in competition with anyone. I'm my own person. I don't really give a fuck about what the next man is doing. I don't really give a fuck about what the next man got. Like, as you can see, I have zero facial hair, bro. Like, I got a little stash coming in, and I got a little, fucking chin hairs. But I don't have the full beard. I'm working on it. But I don't have the full beard, bro. And I don't mind. Like, I got trans brothers who have a full face of care, bro. Like, and I don't see them any different. Like, we're all the same, in my opinion. We all bleed the same. We all piss the same. We all fucking care the same. Well, not necessarily, but yeah. So I don't see myself in competition with anyone. There's other trans men that do see it as a competition. I never understood why, because we're all trans at the end of the day. We just experience genetics very differently, and yes, it all comes down to genetics as to how you look a certain way, as to if you're gonna grow facial hair or not. So it's like genetics plays a big part of it. Yeah. Now I'm gonna touch on dating. Dating as a trans man, I don't have. Hold on. Just give me a minute. Now, dating as a black trans man, I don't have any issue. Like, I date. Well, I haven't been dating. I've been, talking to people. I don't consider that dating. Talking to people, I really don't consider that dating. Um, I have dated being trans. I have dated during my during my pre-T stage. I was dating. Um, but I'm very much single. Me with the ladies is not hard at all, to be honest. Like, I just go talk to them regularly, and whatever happens, I guess. 9 times out of 10, it doesn't really go anywhere. I get bored really fast. I think that's just me. But yeah. I recently came out as pansexual. With that, with that, I would date any type of women. That includes trans women. And I also would date a trans man. I would never, in a million years, will I date a cisgender man. That means biologically born man, right? I will never date one. I'm sorry if that hurts you in any shape or form, but there you have it. There you go. It's dead. It's done and done. I would never date a cisgender man. Now, look, I've tried. I ain't like it. Therefore, that's the end of discussion. And yeah, I can flirt with one. I'm not even gonna lie. I like flirting with just anyone, to be honest. But other than that, I can't see myself with one at all. Now, there's nothing wrong with them, because I know some trans men do like cisgender men. But me personally, it's a no. It's a no. I'm sorry. So yeah, I feel like trans men who say that dating is bad, that they have no dating life because they're trans, are full of shit. Because there's certain trans men that no, there's a lot of trans men that don't have problems dating because they are trans. Now that's not their issue. Most of their issues is themselves. Like, people don't necessarily want to date them because the person they are, not because you're trans. Now, if somebody comes up to you and says, I'm gonna give a perfect example. Now, if you're on a date with a set person, and you tell that person, well, I really like you, we've been talking for a minute, and I don't want this to go any further without you knowing something. Now, that right there, you should have been told them why y'all started talking. That shouldn't be hidden at all. That's a part in your life that should not be hidden. Regardless of if you're just talking to them, if you're just getting to know them, whatever. I feel like you need to just tell them, because at the end of the day, that's something that's gonna eventually be found out, and you don't know how that person's gonna take it. That's just my opinion. Now, this is another example that I'm gonna give y'all. Now, if you just told, like, if you're talking to somebody, texting them, or if you're meeting them for the first time, and you be like, oh, I'm trans, right? Like, I just wanted to let you know. And they be like, yeah, I know you trans. I'm not really into trans, but I can try it with you. Now that right there, that's okay. I'm not even gonna lie. I had a couple of those that only like me specifically because I was trans, or I don't know how to phrase that, to be honest, but y'all know what I'm saying. Yeah, so there's people who don't really want to date transgenders, and that's okay too. Now, don't go ahead and say that it's because you're trans why that person doesn't want to date you. No. Sometimes it's you specifically. Like, there's something wrong with you. And I'm sorry to put it that way, but yeah, it's the honest to God truth that some people get turned off very fast. It's some things that certain people do that turn people off very fast, and I really don't blame people for feeling how they feel, because at the end of the day, they're entitled to their feelings. Like, let's be real. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. My experience being black and trans is pretty solid. Like, I'm okay. Like, I don't get judged for nothing. People I grew up with, they're just now getting to understand it. Um, I don't really live in my neighborhood that I grew up in anymore, but they talk to me still. You know, some people, some of my bros that I grew up with, they still talk to me. They still see how I'm doing and stuff like that, and I appreciate them for that. Um, Other than that, I don't really have much complaints. I don't really, you know, nothing is bad over here. Like I said, I do want to have a, I am gonna make a podcast just strictly for trans men. I might open it to trans women as well. I'm not 100% sure if that's something I really want to do, but that would be great as well. Um, but yeah, I want to bring all a whole variety of transgenders, trans men. Matter of fact, I am gonna make it for trans women too, because I feel like they need a voice as well. Um, yeah, I'ma just, I don't care what state you're in. I'ma go pull up. We're gonna talk, be on video. If you're comfortable with being on video, we're gonna be on video. If not, I'm gonna just do a you know, like a screen shit, and let's just talk, rant, whatever. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna make that happen. I'm gonna make that happen. And no matter what city, what state, whatever, I'll pull up. If we could chop it up, we could even set up a time stamp, a time schedule, a date, whatever. I'll pull up, and we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have kiki, whatever, whatever. And yeah, that's really much it, guys. I don't really know what else to say, to be honest. Now, if you haven't already, like the video, comment if you like, subscribe, please subscribe to my channel. It brings me joy when I see the numbers go up. I'm not even gonna lie. Um, and yeah, hit that notification bell, because it reminds you every time I upload a video. YouTube doesn't remind you, apparently. I don't know, but whatever. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye. Peace.